Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, Legit Boston, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found.
Yeah.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button and then the little notify bell next to it to make sure you're always getting your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We got a variety of award tiers over there. We got a couple new patrons.
Oh, good.
However, I did want to shout out real quick, Drafthouse Games.
Yes.
They have been a supporter on the Patreon.
Pretty much from the get-go.
From the beginning. And they have been so supportive. Mm-hmm. And they always send us cool stuff in the mail. I haven't checked the P.O. box, but apparently
I saw that.
They sent us a second WCW
so
Nitro
nice.
book.
So I have to deal with your duty-covered one.
Because I have read mine extensively on the toilet.
Yeah.
In the loo. On the loo, if you will.
Well, I mean, the one particular detail you need to add to that is that you did so while you were dealing with some sort of stomach issue.
Oh, so it's not just like regular poo. It's like extreme magmatic poo.
Well, I mean, that kicks it up a notch, yes.
Yeah, a couple notches. Yeah. For sure. They sent a second one.
That's so nice. They're so unbelievably nice.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to red flag that one here in the office toilet too, and then I'll give it to you?
No.
Doesn't work that way?
No, that one's a Larson exclusive.
Anyways, getting back to it. Drafthouse Games. Want to return the favor. Erika Duke over there at Drafthouse Games is trying to get this crowd fund started for a film she wants us to make called Mark of the Rougarou. I have placed a link in the description right here on this show.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and tweet it out also a little bit later.
Yes.
But please check it out. She's close to her goal. There's 6 days left.
Yes.
And hopefully she achieves it with the help of the friendos.
Yes.
So, yeah, good luck with that, Erika.
Yes, good luck. And please, friendos, check it out.
It looks super terrific. Like, check it out. Like, Drafthouse Games, their stuff always has high production values, too.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely go ahead and check that out. Want to give a shout-out to some other patrons that we picked up over the past 24 hours or so. I'm going to say this name again because I love it. Daddy Fat Stacks. That's a great name.
Great name.
Tony C. Stepanek. Or Stepanek. Hopefully one of those readings was correct.
Hopefully one of them is correct.
Luke O'Shea and Angelina Licelli.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much for your support.
Yes, thank you.
On the Patreon.
Thank you. Now, you, all of you watching now here live and eventually on VOD, notice we're doing things a little differently on the Friday news show. We advertise on our YouTube channel live 9 a.m.
thing.
Monday through Friday. Yeah. Yet of late, we've only been doing live Monday through Thursday and doing this late Thursday. We decided, why not change it up a little bit?
Yeah, so we've been doing like gameplay stuff on Fridays, but we're going to kind of phase that
on a weekly basis.
I'm not going to say out. Also, on a weekly basis, yes.
Yeah.
We're just going to do less but better of the gaming stuff. We have some ideas in mind for additional content we want to bring to the channel.
Yes.
And the gaming stuff takes up a lot of time and doesn't really do much for us.
Yeah.
We want stuff that takes up time that does stuff for us.
Exactly.
Stuff that you guys will probably find
so
very
starting
exciting.
Next month, August, you're gonna see some changes, some new stuff starting to be rolled out. Some stuff, like the gaming stuff, slowly kind of phased out on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Weekly basis. So just prepare yourself for that.
We're coming up on the 5-year mark for Going In Raw.
Yep, in September.
And so we've got some things planned for that. Very exciting things. Very good things. More but better.
Yeah, good things. All good things.
All
good things. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good things. All good stuff.
Exactly. Speaking of good stuff.
Money. Let's talk money.
Money. Money is good stuff.
Money buys happiness. Solves all problems. Yes?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, sure.
No, not really.
It always trips me out how people can like win the lottery and then end up like in a ditch somewhere dead. Like that boggles my mind.
Well, you hear like people win the lottery, then everybody starts coming out of the woodworks asking them for money.
Yeah.
That's got to be huge stress. And here's the thing, like in most states, you have to publicly accept your lottery winnings.
Oh, you can't go incognito.
You can't do it on the hush.
Yeah.
Which is kind of lame. I believe California is one of those states. You got to go through the ceremony, the pageantry, giant check, all that.
Yeah. Well, I like the giant check. I just don't want my picture. I'd wear a ski mask.
Yeah.
I just put on a
Well, can
ski
you deep
mask.
fake yourself at your own
Right.
your own ceremony?
Yeah, I'd use your face as my deep
Oh,
fake.
don't use my face.
People be like,
Use your face
people be
app
like,
face.
hey, why does like I just look like super old.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'd use Hilton's
There
face
you
that
go.
face.
There you go.
Why does old Hilton just want a giant check?
Steve here, age 41. Why does it look like he's 141?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So what? Yeah, we're doing this live. WWE financials. They had
exciting stuff. Yes.
They didn't collapse. They didn't. That's good.
That's good because like all the McMahons, save for Shane, I think, they all sold a bunch of stock in advance. We'll get to that later.
Insider trading.
Well, I don't know the exact definition of that, so I can't really comment on that. So WWE had their Q2 financial call yesterday, and oh man, things are looking down. But before we get into the always exciting charts and graphs, numbers,
We're not doing that here.
let's talk a bit about some of the other info and company dropped. Vince and company dropped, especially related to the recent changes and additions to WWE Creative, namely Paul Heyman, Eric Bischoff. That's what Vince had to say. Transcripts are courtesy of Seeking Alpha. Quote, do you want to do this all in Vince voice?
Yeah, I'll try. I'll
All
see
right,
what I
all
can
right.
do. One of the things that we've done is to hire 2 executive directors, one for Raw and one for SmackDown. And in doing so, it allows me to look at a longer range story, our standpoint, and also spend more time on talent development and not get into the weeds as much as I had to do in the past. I'm going to pause here for a second. So in case you couldn't hear what I was saying because I was doing my Vince voice, he says, it allows me to look at a longer range story, our standpoint, and also spend more time on talent development and not get into the weeds as much as I had to do in the past. Now, there are reports coming out.
Yeah,
that
Meltzer said he just rewrote SmackDown.
just this past Tuesday, SmackDown, and maybe he's saying for in the future he's not going to have to do this, but 4 hours prior to the show going live, he was rewriting, or was it at 4 p.m.? I forget
4
what it was.
p.m.
It was 4 p.m. He was rewriting
Which is
SmackDown.
on the East Coast, that was 4 hours in advance of the show, yeah.
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 He was still writing SmackDown.
No, the way I read it, it was like at 4 p.m. he decides to start rewriting
Okay,
SmackDown.
even better.
Yeah,
So that is deep into the weeds, man.
it really is.
That's so much weeds right there.
I'll continue here.
Okay.
Give your voice a rest.
Yeah.
Ashley, we've seen a big result already. He continues later on. We have definitely turned the corner again, as I've mentioned. We have executive directors with each brand now. They're going to grow in a more in-depth, I think, notwithstanding that. We spent more time on storylines, good ones, and also talent development. It's a combination of a lot of things on the things as far as coming together and what I guess I'll call it a relaunch in terms of our content.
It's not. No, man, it's not. It's just because the bottom line is everybody knows it all still comes down to him.
Yep.
You know, like Paul Heyman could turn in like an immaculate Emmy contending script for Monday Night
He
Raw.
can be up there with the likes of The Wire, Deadwood in terms of the narrative inventiveness.
Star Trek Enterprise.
The
And he
depth
still
of
has,
writing.
And he still has that red pen of his that I'm assuming he carries with him. Get rid of all this. What is this 20-minute women's match? Cut it down to 3 and give it a wonk finish.
And then someone comes and complains and is given a note. You must do as directed by VKM.
Exactly, yeah. So anyways,
He talks a bit. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, he was like you're about to say. He talks about what this creative relaunch is going to look like, and he continues, we're going to be a bit edgier, but still remain in the PG environment. We've just come anywhere close, actually, to go into another level. That's an odd sentence. We've just come anywhere close. I don't know what that means. So that will be something we will do in terms of direction of content, more controversy, better storylines, etc. But at the same time, we're not going to go back to the bold attitude era, and we're not going to do blood and guts and things of that nature, such as being done on perhaps a new potential competitor, AEW.
Yeah.
We're just not going to go back to that gory we graduated from. And again, a more sophisticated product, again, attracting much better writers and attracting better management, things of that nature. So again, I feel really good about it. And that's when he speaks about the competition.
Yeah.
AEW, he doesn't refer to them by name, but
No.
everybody knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
As far as competition is concerned, competition is good for everyone. Do you think he believes that?
No.
His nose just got way bigger. I think that's generally the case. Although, again, we're hoping that to the extent that they are competition, that they don't continue on blood and guts and gory things that they have been doing. And I can't speak for it, but I can't imagine TNT would put up with that.
Is this one of those things where he realizes that's going to do really well for them and says, I hope they don't do it, in the hopes that they will listen to him and don't do it because he thinks that could actually be a competitive advantage for them?
Well, number one, I don't know. I mean, I know he's referring, I guess, to the unprotected chair shot.
Well, that and
Dustin.
the Dustin stuff.
The Dustin stuff.
Which is probably the only two things he's seen. Probably someone came into his office, Vince, you got to check this out.
Yeah.
And he's seen it. He's like, what is this?
Well, it's a 5-star match that you could have put on ages ago.
At any like of 3 WrestleManias.
Yeah. And he elected not to, and it was really great, and everybody loved it. It was an awesome bit of storytelling there with the blood.
You can't get advertisers if someone's bleeding that much.
So, that was, I mean, just for the fact that it was the first time that Vince has publicly really acknowledged AEW.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah.
And then kind of put him on blast for being so, quote-unquote, bloody. It's been 2 matches.
He's got to find something to go after.
2 matches.
And it's funny because even Tony Khan, in one of the, I forget, one of the little post-press conferences that he did for one of the shows, I think it was, I forget if it was Double or Nothing or if it was after Fyter Fest. And he said that they don't plan on
for TV, yeah.
For TV to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be something for pay-per-views.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll kick things up a notch for pay-per-view, but
which makes total sense.
Keep it relatively brand safe for their weekly television. We'll get to that more later.
I just love that he called it blood and guts. Like nobody's
gory stuff.
Nobody's getting opened up.
No.
There are no sickles.
None.
This isn't FMW.
Yeah, no one's getting disemboweled on AEW television.
It's pretty silly.
It is pretty silly to describe things to that extent, like someone's getting drawn and quartered or something like that. You know, it's nothing to that degree.
Yeah, but no, the
just one wayward chair shot busted Cody open. Otherwise, we'd be talking about one incident, and that's it.
Yeah. But Vince will be Vince. Let's talk a little bit about the money stuff.
I can't wait.
This could be a bit dry sometimes.
That's why I kept it short. Okay, money stuff. Basically, everything was down across the board for quarter 2 compared to the same quarter 2018. It seemed like things were going to be real bad in advance of Thursday's call because Vince, Stephanie, Triple H, as well as Kevin Dunn and George Barrios all sold stock in advance of the announcement. So, when we saw that, we thought, oh, man, it must be bad.
Ooh, it must be bad, yeah.
What if this was like a crazy, like a Fox scenario where they realize, okay, if we sell stock, people are going to think, oh, this is going to be like the sky is falling.
Catastrophic, yeah.
But when it's not, it's setting expectations, lowering expectations. So when it's not as bad as people think it might be because we sold a bunch of stock in advance of this call, people are like, oh, it's not that bad. Stock will go up. Because they sold some, but not like a crap ton. It was like in the tens of thousands or something like that.
Yeah, so Triple H, I think, still owns 110,000 shares.
Yeah, I think he sold 17 or something like that.
He sold enough for about 1.2 or 1.3 million.
Okay,
Stephanie did, I think, around the same.
All right.
I forget how much Vince sold.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly either.
But I don't know. I really don't know. Obviously, they were preparing for a drop, and in fact, the stock actually rebounded and went up.
Yeah.
It's last I checked, it was like $78, $79.
Yeah, and it was under
it went
70.
down to 69.
68 actually.
68.
Under 69. Nice. And while the numbers weren't great, they maybe weren't as awful as anticipated because WWE stock actually went up after Thursday's call.
Well, I mean, if you compare it to the last quarterly financial call where Vince sort of came up with the excuse, oh, our talent were injured. We had so many injuries, and that's why
garbage excuse.
Ratings are down. There was no similar like excuse. Instead, he was looking forward. Hey, we've hired some executive directors. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
And we're looking at a relaunch. So it kind of once again pushes it down the line.
Yeah.
You know.
Here's a few particulars. Again, I'm not going to get into specifics, just kind of generalities. Raw and SmackDown ratings were down 14% and 11% respectively from the year prior. A live events attendance was down about 6%, and merch sales were down about 13%.
So the prior financial report, they were down 20% year over year.
Yeah, I think so.
And now, and in this corner, it's 13% year over year.
Yeah.
And they said, I do recall a bit of that was because live attendance was down, they sell a lot of merch at live shows, so that accounts for some of it.
The major drop for the merch sales was licensing, so they're selling less toys.
Yeah, right.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Despite all that, WWE still turned a profit.
Man, I tell you what, though, they're going to experience, I'm telling you, hand over fist profit when they get those WWE X He-Man.
Yeah.
Did you see the Masters of the Universe crossover?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
That looked ridiculously cool.
You're going to buy all those.
Holy moly. I was a big mark for He-Man back in the day.
I know, you were a huge
fan.
He-Man fan.
Yeah, man.
So WWE ended up bringing in about $269 million in revenue for the quarter. Not too bad for a company that's on its way out.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Also, prior to Thursday's call, WWE announced that WWE Network would start rolling out a relaunch of its own. That's already happened. You can see the early stage of that. I haven't actually played around with it any, but our good friend Pulse, CM Pulse, posted some screenshots on Twitter.
He had some praise for it,
Yeah. Apparently the search works way better.
Yeah.
You can jump around shows much easier. Don't have to worry about fast forwarding through stuff. Like older pay-per-views, you can already kind of do that, but more recent stuff.
So I looked at it on the Fire Stick this morning, and it looked the exact same. Are they?
I don't know if it's rolled out in every platform yet.
Okay, all right.
That's one thing I did
All right,
read.
gotcha.
But they also mentioned during the conference call on Thursday that the long-rumored tiered subscription system isn't on the horizon. They didn't say what this VIP subscription tier would look like, what additional content you would get, what additional features, but apparently it is on the horizon.
Okay.
There's still upgrades to the network that are being planned to being rolled out over the next several months.
Well, that's cool.
So will we get Evolve on a regular basis on the network?
I hope
Maybe.
so. I hope so. That in progress, maybe. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be neat.
That would be neat. So what's the mood like backstage in the midst of all this? According to WrestleVotes, quote, sources say backstage at TV this week there was an overall great feeling, almost like a refreshing vibe.
Well, I did notice that a lot of people were present. Like Chelsea Green was there, Mia Yim was there. Like a lot of people
made the drive over.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, they were all wearing party clothes. Seemed like a jovial attitude.
Atmosphere. Yeah. The attitude and demeanor of the legends at Raw was that of appreciation. This is a change from recent weeks, which can only be considered a good thing.
That's good. Maybe they're all feeling, hey, we're all in this together. They're doling out these massive 5-year contracts with lots of money behind them. So people really shouldn't have too much of a reason to be malcontent.
Money doesn't buy everything, man.
Yeah, I know. But, when you take a look, for example, the club, it's like, you're right, money doesn't buy everything. But they gave them a lot of money, and they're putting them on TV.
Yes.
So,
I think that's
kind of the key. People want to do stuff.
People want to be involved. They want to be involved.
Exactly.
Involved.
If they can find a way to do that, then
that will generally make people happy.
I think so. Yeah.
Just as much. Maybe not more.
What
so
if there are
money.
people backstage who are like, man, really? I got to wrestle this week? Crap. I just like picking up that massive
What's that paycheck? Maybe wrestling once a week at a house show.
I want to start my YouTube gaming channel. Down, down, up, up.
I want to start my own Twitch stream. I want to co-host streams from AAA.
AAA, exactly.
And now Impact.
I want to be on Going In Raw.
Speaking of a wrestling company that actually has a TV deal.
Oh, by the way, no, huge announcement also. We have secured the presence of one Luchando, a.k.a. Hilton. He's going to be unmasked.
Wait, what?
He's going to be demasked. He's not going to have his mask on.
Well, no, Luchando got unmasked. I don't know what this Hilton conversation's about, though.
Hilton is going to be there.
No, Luchando's going to be there.
He's not going to be wearing the mask. Therefore, he's Hilton.
You take the mask off El Hijo del Fantasma. He's still El Hijo del Fantasma.
Take the mask off La Sombra. He's Andrade. You take
no,
the
he's
mask
not. He
off
was still
Luchando.
La Sombra. He was only Andrade. He came to WWE, man.
Listen.
Luchando's going to be here.
August 3rd. Fine. Luchando. Steve Larson. Have we confirmed our fourth guest?
Not officially, but I feel pretty good about it.
All right. Well, there might be a certain grizzly
maybe
person here in the house as well. Might have a 4-man co-streaming. That's right. In this case, August 3rd, Triple Mania. If things go the way we hope they do, which is tenuous at best.
Yeah. Well, we don't know technology.
You'll be able to watch Triple Mania while we're watching it on the same screen. This isn't going to be just us sitting there on a couch.
This is us sitting on a couch in one little small window, and the rest of the window is
and
actually
the rest of the
Mania.
window is going to be Triple Mania.
Yep.
Co-streaming, man.
Yep.
Woo!
Yep.
Hot action.
Yep.
Let's talk about another hot action right now. All Elite Wrestling
All Elite
TV.
Wrestling. Yes, Wednesday, All Elite and TNT announced that AEW's first TV show will air live Wednesday, October 2nd from the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Apparently, that was the home of several Starcades.
Yeah. The last Starcade.
And then the Hogan Sting one.
The biggest one, the Hogan Sting one, yeah.
This is what Warner's press release had to say. Quote, Warner Media announced today that the new professional wrestling league, All Elite Wrestling AEW, began airing its 2-hour weekly matches on TNT. Well, the matches are going to be 2 hours long? That's some serious wrestling. On TNT on Wednesday, October 2nd from 8 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern.
Well, that's like an old-timey phrase, isn't it? Like, I'm going to the matches.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go see the matches.
I just feel like someone who wrote this press release doesn't know anything about wrestling.
They probably don't.
Here's a question, though. Is this going to air on tape delay like WWE does? Or are they going to do this like WCW used to do, where it was live across the entire country. So it's 8 p.m. Eastern, but 5 p.m. Pacific.
I would speculate that they would do the same thing WWE does now. Like if you're lucky enough to have,
If you're on the East Coast, you actually get to see it live.
and if you're on the West Coast, if you have like hopefully Xfinity will give you
Sometimes the
their
East Coast
streaming
feed.
their streaming app. You can get the East Coast. That's what I do.
I think it'd be pretty cool if they did it live nationwide. I think it'd be awesome. The highly anticipated action-packed matches will take place in different cities across the nation each week on Wednesday, starting in Washington, D.C. at the famed Capital One Arena, right in downtown Washington, D.C. That's my own editorial. Ticket pricing and on-sale date for the televised live event will be announced on Monday, July 29th, 12 p.m. Eastern, via AEW social media platforms. Are we going to go to this?
Where is it?
D.C.
Oh, man, yes. When is this? October? Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
I think I'm down. On the other hand, like, shouldn't we be here, like, live streaming it so that people can watch it with us?
Okay, is TNT going to allow us to co-host a stream?
No.
I know.
This is actually, I actually wanted to do this instead of, like, rather than Double or Nothing. If it was
All
like,
Out?
I don't know. When it was coming up, I thought this would be a bigger deal.
Yeah.
When it was all coming up, I was like, first TV taping. So, man, yeah, that's something we really have to talk about.
Yeah.
We really have to talk about. Maybe it'll be an opportunity to reach out to that one company, see if we can get a sponsorship.
That's good. That's
so
good
we don't
idea.
have to pay for it.
Yeah, we should do that right
But
away.
I would definitely love to go to. I've not been to DC since I was like a little kid.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
I know you've been there. You went for the Barack's inauguration.
I did, and then my brother lives out in the area.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been out there a couple times.
I would love to do some sightseeing out there.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm a big fan of that.
I can't recommend the National Portrait Gallery enough.
Really,
It's awesome.
okay.
But I went there during the inauguration, so they had all the presidential portraits up there. So that was maybe, I don't know if that's a regular feature or not.
Yeah.
But it was super cool.
Oh,
Everything I went to was super cool.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
Anyways, but what are TV insiders expecting for All Elite's TV debut? According
This is interesting.
to Meltzer on a recent Wrestling Observer Radio, something in the ballpark of 400,000 to 500,000 viewers. I don't know where he got these numbers from.
Well, I mean, he's like their official insider spokesperson.
Kind of. We'll get to more of that later in a little bit here. I would think that's kind of low.
Oh, I think they're probably setting their expectations super low.
That's kind of been their pattern.
Yeah.
All Elite. They're very quick and very good at tempering expectations.
Yeah, and then they completely destroy them. Even if they had reasonable expectations, they've been destroying them every time out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. What was it, like 60, 70,000? It was like, what was the amount of people that like were trying to get tickets? Was it as high as 100?
For All Out?
Yeah.
75, I think.
75,000?
Yeah. Enough that in theory they could have sold out a stadium.
Right. You had 75,000 people waiting to buy a ticket, accommodations, a plane ticket. I think the math on this is going to be way higher. I think they're going to.
Well, here's the thing: there's 75,000 people in line. That's not taking into account how many tickets they're planning on buying.
Yeah, sure.
If there is, I don't know if there's a 4 or 6 ticket limit.
Yeah.
You know, someone's in line waiting to buy tickets for their whole entire party.
Yeah.
That could up the actual number of ticket requests.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Even higher than the 75,000. That's
Yeah.
just the number of people waiting in line.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. This is what Meltzer had to say in The Observer this week about what we can expect from All Elite TV. Quote, the goal right now is to run 100 to 120 live events per year, probably 4 pay-per-views, 51 television shows, and many Saturday night house shows, and on occasion more than 1 house show a week. But with the idea that in spreading the talent out, the top talent does maybe 75 matches a year, a number hopefully to keep their ability to work great matches high, since that's probably more of a key goal is high match quality on top as compared with any other promotion. Well, there's NXT and that, whatever.
Yeah, Cody had some comments about that.
I don't know why. I don't know why Meltzer doesn't, like, I don't know.
What?
He says the key goal is high match quality on top as compared with any other promotion. Like NXT, like that's kind of their goal is to have high match quality like across the board.
Yeah, he also had like sort of a throwaway line about NXT where he kind of like, I don't know, which is weird because he's been a big NXT fan lately because essentially NXT is PWG from like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something along the lines of the rosters are comparative at the top. And I was like, man, NXT's depth is so insane, though. Like, I honestly think that it sort of outmatches AEW by a long shot. Yeah, he's so, like, he's, I don't know, man. I think that it's obvious in his writing and reading The Observer that there is some internal conflict there with Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, maybe.
He's experiencing an existential crisis.
Maybe.
When, like, his best friends, people who literally named him, like, their finishing move after him, are experiencing wild success. Like, I can only imagine it's probably difficult to deal with internally.
Yeah, maybe.
You know? So, yeah, sometimes I read too much into that. But no, Cody had some statements about that. I don't have them in front of me, but to paraphrase, he said something like, that echoes this: the well-being of our wrestlers is paramount.
Yeah.
And as well it should be. So
they're looking to have their top talents wrestle about half the number of matches that
Yeah.
typical top of the card WWE wrestlers. I think I saw somewhere that Baron Corbin just wrestled his 100th match of the year.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I think that's the most in the company so far.
It is. And yeah, following behind him was the Revival, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've been putting, especially on house shows, during the early part of the year, they were doing like half-hour long matches with Rude and Gable and stuff.
I know. And on top of that, not only are they doing really long matches, but evidently a pretty high quantity of them because they're just behind Baron Corbin in the number of matches. So that's kind of interesting.
It is interesting. You wouldn't think Baron would be the workhorse of the company on you look at it from like the macro level, including house shows.
I know, but it's also kind of not surprising. It's like that year Jinder had the most matches.
Well, he was champion that year.
Yeah.
He kind of has to.
Yeah.
You need to have your champion on the card every day.
But Baron Corbin, I mean, similarly, he's like heavily featured.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
also
he's
Baron,
so heavily featured.
he doesn't, like Seth wrestles a style I can see taking a toll on your body. Mm-hmm. He does all the jumping and suicide dives and stuff like that. Whereas Baron, he doesn't do any diving or jumping.
Yeah, not as much.
I might not be as, wrestling's going to take a toll on your body.
What was it? How many? I forget. How many matches was the year Dean had like the most?
It was over 200.
Because they were like sending him.
He's doing like some days 2 shows a day.
2
Daniel
shows,
Bryan one year wrestled like 225 matches.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Or something close to that. It was an obscene number. Crazy number.
Yeah.
Here, let's talk about this real quick because
Okay.
I think this is just amusing.
Okay.
So this is from Pro Wrestling Sheet. Scott Hall was on X-Pac's podcast, and they were talking about...
Ooh, I got to listen to that.
Yeah, that should be great. The segment, of course, between DX/Outsiders and the OC. And first of all, they did confirm the initial reports that Ricochet was supposed to be in that spot, but couldn't do it because of an elbow injury. And then they go on to say how X-Pac and Hall, they had an issue with the segment because they thought it would come across as the old timers burying the OC. And they actually vocalized their concerns and were apparently overruled.
Oh, wow.
I don't know by whom. They didn't mention. This is what
That's got to be Vince.
Scott Hall had to say, quote, people don't realize that everybody in that room when it was presented to us said, well, geez, kind of burying those guys. It was addressed and it was overruled. Then X-Pac added, we said it. It's just like, what are we going to do? Say no. We're not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny. The Click are talking about
Not wanting to bury.
not wanting to bury people. Well, they're old, wiser.
Yeah.
Scott Hall has a pacemaker.
Say
X-Pac said he's done with wrestling too.
I saw that. Unless it's like a Mania match
Oh,
or
yeah.
something on NXT. He
Yeah,
said he
yeah.
would tag with Matt Riddle,
Yeah,
which would be great.
Everybody loves Matt Riddle.
Oh, he's awesome.
Seemingly, he's the best.
But here's the thing. Even when the Click were at their peak of politicking and trying to, get to the top of the card on a daily basis, they always had good minds for the business. Just in their heyday, they used their good minds for the business strictly for their own advantage.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they're removed from the business from a day-to-day basis. They don't have to worry about getting themselves over.
Yeah, but they always liked. So they didn't stick specifically to necessarily the Click. They liked. I think they had a good mind for like who was good, and they were all the good people in the company at the time.
Yeah.
You look at what Hall and Nash did over in WCW. They were putting over guys like Dallas Page, who
Because they liked them.
They liked him.
If they liked you, they'd help you. Yeah.
Exactly. But they also liked people who are good. Was there ever an instance of them putting over somebody who like wasn't good, or them not putting over somebody? Like nobody liked apparently Shane Douglas. I liked Shane Douglas, but I'm not sure if I was actually watching and a fan in '95, if I would have been a fan of the Dean Douglas
Yeah, you
character.
probably wouldn't have.
Probably.
It was not a good gimmick.
I don't think anybody was.
But it wasn't so much the Dean Douglas gimmick they had an issue with. It was just they didn't like him.
I don't think anybody did, though. Seemingly, didn't Yokozuna, wasn't there a story about Yokozuna on a bus, and he looks at freaking Shane Douglas and says, I don't see the big deal about you, in front of everybody.
Wow.
I think that might have been a story that Scott Hall told in a shoot interview.
Wow.
So, I guess grain of salt, but still. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what the deal was with that.
I don't know either. I don't know either.
I forget. Was Bob Holly?
He just seems like a grumpy guy. Period. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just didn't like anybody.
Why was Bob Holly not at Raw reunion? Where's he been? He's never on those things.
Isn't he still wrestling?
Is he?
I thought
He
I
looks
saw.
great.
Yeah, he looks pretty much the same.
He looks literally the same.
Yeah.
He looks like the same person.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah, he does look like the same person.
Yeah. I really need to listen to that. I love listening to anything Scott Hall has to do.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
We don't want to bury them.
Apparently he was at the Performance Center this week doing some guest instructing.
That's awesome. Here's how you cut a promo.
Yeah, imagine.
You get a toothpick and you put it in your mouth.
And he started out by saying, hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
People really like surveys.
You ever filled out a survey? WWE sends out these surveys all the time. You'd think I had a hand in them, but I didn't.
Another one for the network. Anyways, let's talk about some depressing stuff real quick.
All
You
right.
got that sad mugshot.
Yeah,
right
this
there.
is Jimmy Uso's mugshot. We can talk about this
man,
briefly.
Stop with the drinking and driving.
Well, this is the first time he's got arrested for that. His brother got arrested for it before.
Oh, whoops. Who was the other one? My bad.
But he got arrested prior because he
Squaring up.
squared up with the cop taking his shirt off.
Well, he was drunk.
Yeah, but he wasn't driving in that instance.
Okay.
Naomi was
driving.
Anyways, there's some additional details about his arrest for DUI and unlawful speeding in Pensacola, Florida. So apparently this all kicked off at this is from Wrestling Observer. Apparently everything kicked off from the legal side at 1:30 in the a.m. when there was an off-duty cop noticed that it was a vehicle driving over 100 miles an hour and then drifting on the road. Not safe.
Yeah, dude, that's not good.
Apparently, this car eventually pulled into the parking lot of a sports bar. But by the time on duty,
I'm sorry. Wait a second. Am I to believe that he was driving drunk to a bar?
I mean, if you want to make that connection, I guess you can. But then by the time an on-duty cop arrived, left, I guess the deputy later caught up with the car on a different highway, and it was going 86 in a 45 zone.
That's way too fast.
And it came close to hitting another vehicle.
Oh, my goodness.
Car was pulled over. He said, again, this is according to newsletter, the deputy noted that, quote, Fatu had issues holding his license, registration, and proof of insurance. He had bloodshot and watery eyes, droopy eyelids, dilated pupils, and slow, slurred speech, according to the deputy.
Man.
And deputy could also smell booze from the car.
Ouch.
Asked Jimmy Uso to step out several times. When he did, apparently unsteady. And then I guess the deputy said, hey, come over here to a flat area's parking lot, do a field sobriety test. Initially, Jimmy agreed, but then apparently once they got there, he seemed confused, didn't know what was happening.
You ever done that? The backwards ABCs?
Mm-mm.
Putting your
I've never
fingers on
had
your
to
nose?
because I was pulled over by a cop.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
No, I've never had to
I
do that.
have.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I
gotta be-
was stone cold sober though.
Oh, that's good.
I was dancing my way through that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, he pulled me over
doing
because of a
this.
busted taillight. Because he asked me, he was like, where are you coming from? I was like, I'm coming from that bar over there, but I didn't drink anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, why don't you step on out and do this? I was like, no problem. ZYWX and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was doing it like perfect, though.
ZYXW.
U?
V.
No, V.
Then U.
U T S R Q.
Yeah.
PONMLK
I
H G E D.
No,
F E D C B A. But I was doing it while I was doing this stuff. It was
You
great.
staying on one foot while you're doing all this?
I was doing the so fresh, so clean dance. Exactly.
So, anyways, it all led to Jimmy Uso getting arrested for DUI. Apparently became uncooperative. Then he got in the police car, then said he was uncomfortable in that police car and wanted to talk to another police officer.
Is there a more plush car, please?
Doubtful.
Sir.
And then this last little detail. Quote, the arresting officer said he had to roll down his back windows due to the overwhelming smell of alcohol in the car.
Yeah, man.
And the WWE issued a statement. Quote, Jonathan Fatu was responsible for his own personal actions. It's a blanket statement whenever a talent these days is arrested for anything booze related.
So, Larson, that brings up the question, how far can you go before you get fired by WWE? I think, I think probably, murder or like sexual assault, like that's crossing the line.
Yeah.
Anything before that, I think you're probably good. Assault on like an old person, maybe.
Yeah, if someone got into a fight with like Gerald Briscoe backstage, beat him up, they'd be fired.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's assault on an old person.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But I would hope at least this is
something that makes you, from a PR standpoint, pretty untouchable. Because then it's like you're not really going to worry if AEW is going to pick them up, are you?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these days they're going to let you get away with a lot.
Probably. But I mean, this is within the last year. This is Jimmy's second alcohol-related incident. First DUI, but nonetheless, I'd hope someone at least go up and talk to him and say, "Hey, you got to deal with this."
Yeah, no kidding. Like that's what Uber's for. Holy moly!
I know. I mean, especially they just signed huge new contracts.
Yeah, get a driver.
I know.
Just buy a driver. I'm sure you can probably afford somebody who's like $45,000 a year. Just get a driver.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do that. You have to spend that kind of money. Just get a lift.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you want to go from bar to bar to bar? Just get a lift.
Yeah, give them those
What
party
the hell?
vans.
Like they're younger than us. Like the kids are supposed to know this stuff these days.
I know.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I don't know, man. I'm gonna get it.
I'm going to a wedding tonight. There's a good chance I'm gonna be Ubering home.
Yeah,
lifting home.
Very responsible.
It's just it's like, oh, I've had a couple beers. I don't want to spend $10,000 on a freaking
why risk it?
Right, exactly.
And it's not just the money you'd have to spend. It's also you're putting your life and other people's lives in danger.
That's the biggest thing here is, boy, that is a beautiful shoe. Go up. That right there.
Yeah, no, they're on sale too.
That's beautiful. How much? It's only $60.
No, $90.
$90?
They look good.
Boy, those are pretty shoes.
They are pretty.
Anyways, looks like Enterprise nacelles in the back.
Yeah, no, look at that.
No, I mean, well, part of it, they said he came close to...
This is kind of the official shoe of WWE wrestlers. Like, everybody has a pair. Not of this particular colorway, but that shoe.
That's beautiful.
That's what Drew was wearing in the ring when he was reffing.
Are they comfy?
Yeah, they're all right. I've tried a pair on.
All right.
It's Air Max 270, by the way.
He, almost hit somebody.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah,
you're really...
can't do that.
You're really freaking playing with fire there, man. That's not cool.
Can't do it.
That's not cool.
Shouldn't be doing that.
While I was gone, didn't Jeff Hardy get arrested for
public drunkenness? Yeah,
public. That's different. If you're just hanging out in the park and you're drunk, I don't really think that should be like an arrestable offense. We were driving around Edinburgh. I don't think it is in the UK. We were driving around Edinburgh. We saw this dude. There was a ton of people out there, just obviously just drinking and just walking home. And they're just having a good time.
I wonder if it was the situation. I forgot where exactly he was at. Where if you're drunk in public but you're cool, like you're not causing a ruckus, you're not bothering anybody, they'll let it go. But if you're drunk in public and you're bugging people, then you're gonna get ticketed for it.
Yeah,
that'd be my guess. Like if you're drunk in public and
was
cool.
he dropping twists of fate on people?
I don't know. Swanton bombs on everybody. Some trying to enjoy a lovely dinner on the waterfront there in South Carolina.
He gets up on the balcony.
He gets on the awning of this particular establishment, right through the table. It's like, this is a fine lobster tail.
Yeah.
I can't eat it now because you dropped the swanton on it.
On the other hand, that's like being front row. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, the difference is when that happens, you pay for that ticket. You know what you're getting into.
Do you think when Jeff Hardy went up and did the swanton onto the restaurant table, he said, "This is for the juggalos and juggalettes"?
No, he didn't do that. He just did this. Shouldn't make fun of that. This is again twice in a year and a half he's got arrested for drink related things, and considering his history of substance abuse,
was his first? Was that one the before this? Was that for drinking? Was that driving?
That was drunk driving. Yeah.
Oh, man, you can't be doing that, man.
Yeah.
Get a lift.
Yeah.
Just get a lift.
Again, shouldn't make light of it because he's had serious issues in the past.
Oh yeah, for sure. He tried to wrestle Sting all messed up. Yeah, that didn't go over well.
No. Let's take some questions, Steve. First, Sam Stewart, thank you. Tom talks rubbish. More going in raw view. We're waiting to see how that fits into the puzzle of what we got coming up here.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to think we could do it on a monthly basis, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, it's the kind of thing that people aren't necessarily clamoring for.
Yeah.
And the stuff that we have planned, I think, will generate quite a bit of excitement.
Yeah, I think it might be more demand.
Yeah, right.
But, you never know.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Rich Harsty, I know we tell you this all the time, but thank you for all you do. Yesterday, I lost my mom to cancer, and your show is a welcome distraction. Sorry to hear that, Rich. Really sorry, man.
Rich, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. Also, I kept on meaning to do this, But Tim Spulak also lost his mom this past week, and our hearts go out to him. Y'all are just amazing members of the community, and that's awful. We're so sorry to hear that. Let's see here. Okay, Greg Morris has a question, a conundrum. Go to prison for 1 year, or go to prison with a Rubik's Cube and get out when you solve it. Oh, Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, I can do that in less than a year.
I think I could do that in probably 24 hours.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, just without sleeping. I'm in prison. I'm not going to be sleeping.
Yeah.
I'll just be sitting there doing the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, maybe the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not that difficult.
You know, I don't think I've ever spent more than 5 minutes messing around with the Rubik's Cube.
I don't know if I've ever solved one, but I'm sure I could.
Yeah.
I've been able to get like a couple, like Bama has one. She loves it.
Yeah.
She's never solved it because she's 4. But like I picked it up. I'll dick with it, and I'll get like 2 sides. You know.
Michael Forbes, is Seth Rollins better as part of a group, such as Shield and Authority? Seems weak and just doesn't work for me when he's by himself.
He works best when he's a badass with a chair. He doesn't work best when Becky Lynch is slapping him on the ass. That's probably when he doesn't work best, when he's got googly eyes.
And when he's trying to do a silly Brock Lesnar impression.
It's off-putting when somebody puts somebody on a pedestal. You know, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
She's going to get tired of that.
I know.
That relationship is not going to last. It's not going to go good, I'm telling you.
Right.
He seems way more into her than she is into him.
But he seems like that. Also, I'll say he seems like the type of person that can't keep his cards close to his vest to begin with.
Yeah.
He's very especially this last week at the Brock Lesnar thing. He was like, man, he seems so nerdy.
Yeah, I know.
But I think that's just not to say he's entirely nerdy. I think he just wears his emotions on his sleeve more.
That's
so.
off-putting. People like mystery, dude.
Oh, I agree. Especially from a performer, there needs to be some mystique. I agree.
Yeah. Let's see here. PB Samurai. What inventive title should AEW have to keep up with the litany of titles in WWE and New Japan? Should they just have like a normal mid-level title, like an Intercontinental Championship, or should there be something more inventive? Like, for example, Gift of the Gods. It was kind of an inventive Money in the Bank / championship.
It'd be kind of cool if they can find a creative spin to like the X Division title.
Yeah, I agree.
Something that's based more on wrestling style as opposed to weight division.
Innovative wrestling.
Yeah, I think
I
that'd be
agree
cool.
with that
I think it'd be
totally.
neat because if the focus so much is on the in-ring product, and so many of the wrestlers in All Elite are very innovative.
Sure, yeah.
And do some really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I mean, that was one of the things, like, I didn't watch TNA or Impact on a regular basis, but I did always appreciate their X Division, the X Division title, and what you could do with it. You know, the plan B, the option B, option C. What was it?
Don't remember.
I don't know what it was called.
Andrew A. got my Hell in a Cell tickets for y'all going. He's from Elk Grove.
Oh, cool. You should hook up with Mr. Dope. You guys could be friends because he's also in Elk Grove.
We decided not to go because we'd lose money if we went, whereas if we stayed here and streaming pay-per-view is such a huge part of what we do now that we can't just not do it anymore, pretty much.
Yeah, but on top of that, if this was like a must-go-to event, we would probably...
Yeah, if it were SummerSlam, we'd go.
We would justify it, but I'll be honest with you, I've been... look, I'll just say this. I've been underwhelmed the last couple WWE shows I've been to, and it didn't get me excited to go to Hell in a Cell.
No.
So in that case, it's like, man, if I'm not super into it, why did you just raise your brow? What's that?
Scarlett Bordeaux is going to be doing a signing.
Oh, that's cool. We were next to her when she was doing a signing at the first
one.
Starcast. Let's see here.
She's a free agent now, so I just want to know if that's indication of her wrestling future.
Oh, is she going to be going to AEW?
Yeah. Jen Lee Accepted's got a couple questions. Vega should manage more for i.e. AOP, Bianca, Belair, and Daivari. Of those names, AOP would be cool, but Bianca doesn't need a manager.
No, Bianca definitely doesn't.
I don't think Daivari needs one either.
I'm not opposed to her managing people. I'm not huge on any of those names that Mr. Jen Lee Accepted gave us, though. Give us somebody who you'd like to see. Who do you think Zelina Vega would be strong? You know, it'd be cool. I know there's obviously some obvious similarities, but Garza Jr.
Oh yeah,
Angel
cool.
Garza.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun. Let's see here, Anthony Valentine. What fun wrestling and WCW stars By the way, WCW finale coming up next week.
Ooh.
Details to be announced.
Fun Wrestling will be returning the following week.
Fun Wrestling, WCW stars you want to see come to life and join WWE or AEW. He says his pick, of course, is Fun Blumpkin.
Gosh. Beal Armstrong.
They can't. The competition shouldn't be doing the Blumpkins. I don't think TNT's going to like Blumpkins.
Doing the Blumpkin thing. Beal Armstrong.
That's a good one.
First of all, is he or is he not Spaceman? Secondly, has he been infected by a Martian parasite?
It seems pretty obvious that the answer is yes. Miriam, I want to see go.
There you go.
To WWE.
Generally accepted again. What star from each show would you have her? Have her manage? That's a continuation of the previous.
Oh
question.
yeah.
So on SmackDown it's already Andrade. On Raw,
she should manage both Andrade and her husband, Aleister Black.
Oh, there you go.
Nah, Aleister does not need a.
No, he
manager.
doesn't. Andrew A. First WWE event you went to, his was Bash of the Beach 2009. Mine was a Raw in 1998 in Davis, California, 2 weeks after the Royal Rumble.
I think mine was a WCW Nitro.
But that was like a month later.
I think that's the case, yeah. David De La Cruz. With the past two AEW pay-per-views, the main matches have been focused on the Bucks, Kenny, and Cody, and have been the longest matches of each pay-per-view. Do you think because everybody is excited for AEW, no one calls it out like they do with Triple H or Taker's matches?
Well, it's usually
There's
the main
a big
event is the
difference,
longest match on the card. Typically.
The problem with Triple H or Taker's matches is that they're old.
Yeah. They're not exciting matches.
It'd be like saying nobody calls it out when Seth has a long match.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like their main featured player.
Yeah.
He's active all the time.
Yeah, you can put on exciting matches.
The same with Cody, Kenny, and the Bucks.
Yeah, if they were putting on boring matches, then I think people would be calling
they're
out.
the featured attraction.
Yeah, it's called All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
Where does the elite come from? They're the elite.
They're the elite.
They're the elite.
They're the elite.
Tom Talks Rubbish. I'm putting together a charity event. Can you help? I guess send us an email, at StephenLarson@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us an email. We'll see.
Send us some details.
Blake Elizondo, do you think AEW will run into management issues in the future? In the year 2000.
I mean, all the guys seem to get along fine, so I don't see why.
I mean, I guess anything's
I
possible.
mean, anything's possible, but I mean, if they all share a vision of what they want their company to be, then
I'm going to say no. No management issues.
no, they're gonna get along swimmingly for the next 30 years.
I honestly don't know.
No issues whatsoever.
You can't tell. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I might
Yeah,
be
people
dead
are
tomorrow.
complex individuals.
Let's see here. Aaron's again. I love these looking into the future questions.
In the year 2000,
Aaron Sandlin. In the year 2019, will we see an HBK match this year?
No, he doesn't seem interested in it.
2000.
He doesn't seem interested at all. He seems like he regrets doing the Crown Jewel show.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I don't think he's going to come back.
No, I don't think he is at all.
Rory Morris. Do you think 205 merging with NXT, if that happens, might see guys like Gargano, Roddy, etc., get pushed less in the main event because they fit that division, or will they use as a second mid-card title with bigger guys going for the North American title? I think it'll be its own division. I don't think you'll see a lot of crossover, but where it applies.
Well, I think you would. Yeah, I think you would in the undercard, but not in the main event scene. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be a concern for me.
Although a couple people have pointed out, and in fact, just I think yesterday, ACH, Jordan Miles, took on Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship. We were talking about that yesterday on the show. What do you think he's going to do? That's a very likely scenario.
That is a viable scenario.
If he comes out of the finals, or if he wins, he could go straight for the Cruiser title.
Yep.
And they might be teasing that right now.
Yep. Tested it out in the house show circuit.
Let's see here. Anthony Tobias. Oh, yeah, we didn't mention this. Thoughts on the 3 announced names for the Super J Cup? TJP.
Yeah, that's cool.
TJ Perkins. I think that's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's been sort of a guy who's been gone from WWE. Yeah, he's done some stuff in MLW.
Yeah.
But he's been kind of under the radar. He hasn't signed up with any of the big names.
No, he has a history wrestling with New Japan too. So
yeah, he
So
was
that's
one of the
pretty cool.
guys who was suicide. Also, did he show up in Impact?
I feel like he might have.
I think he did. Anyways,
It's him. It's Yo and Show, or just Yo?
I don't know.
And then Jushin Liger's on the tour too.
He will be fighting, but not in
the tournament.
Right, yeah. So that's cool. No, I think that's great. I would love to see what TJP can do.
Nonstop player going to New Japan in Pennsylvania. How is Tanahashi live? He's the ace.
He's the ace.
Hopefully,
Go ace.
Hopefully he ends the show with a ripping air guitar solo.
He is as
advertised.
Charismatic and godlike in person as he appears to be on the TV.
Did we give him high fives? I feel like we did.
Sounds like something we might have done. I know we both got fist bumps from Naito.
Naito, that was great.
Naito! Ryan Haft. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. He says, can we ever get a Going in Raw Minecraft Let's Play? He says it's popular again, and watching you guys play Skyblock, which I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that means.
He says would be hilarious. I'm sorry, Ryan. The only game that I'm going to play these days is Red Dead 2, WWE 2K19, or what else do I play?
WCW versus NWO World Tour.
GTA Online has a new...
they opened the casino finally.
They opened the casino.
I just want to do that to bet in the ponies.
Why don't we do that for the Friendoville channel?
Because
I'd opened up online the other day and it automatically went into that, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to do this now. I want to do like
casino?
On a live stream thing. Yeah.
Is it can you just free play, or is the casino thing just like a story option?
I have no idea, but I know there is a story option there. They advertise it heavily.
I just want to go and gamble.
Well, I'm sure it's open.
GTA
It's all
world.
open world. I'm sure you can go and gamble on ponies.
I want to go and gamble. I want to go play some roulette. I want to gamble on put some money on the ponies.
I'm sure you can do all
And after
that.
I lose all my money, I wanted to put sticky bombs everywhere.
Well, let's play it for Friendoville.
See, we have time next week.
All right.
People here in chat, Nick Failer, Malvin Jackson confirmed TJP is with Impact. Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. But New Japan still wants him in the Super J Cup. I thought that they hated Impact because of Jeff Jarrett.
I think there is some people within New Japan that might dislike Impact.
Yeah.
It's universal though.
Let's see here. Diet Kyle, would you be okay with more multi-man / women matches if it meant we actually got to see more superstars on TV, or do you think creative can't handle that sort of thing? I would actually be okay with that if it meant we got to see more people on TV.
I would to a degree, but I don't want it to become so commonplace that it kind of becomes the norm, you know?
I would want, yeah, I know, and you want it to like matter. Like if they're going to be on TV, you want it to matter.
Wow.
I totally ignored Discord, so I'm going to go to Discord right now.
Cool. Got some confirmation that in GTA, the casino stuff, you can just gamble from Karsten. Says played some blackjack, and then Jose F says the GTA casino got banned over 50 countries.
Wow. And then, yeah, that's true. James Rodriguez points out that you can gamble in Red Dead 2.
All right.
You can play poker. I'm telling you, man, Friendoville. Alex C. is in Discord. He said, is the Friday stream going to be somehow even more chill than Thursday stream? It's so chill, I don't even know if you're in here today. Well, I just got here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Hafty, how would you repackage Rusev? Now that he's been off for so long, he can use a gimmick refresh.
Just have him come out in his Speedo he uses to mow his lawn.
Lana's photographer, because she's all over that Instagram in her skivvies. And so people would love that. They tune in. It'd be like their own smoke show.
Yeah.
Like Lana comes out wearing not a lot.
Yeah.
And he's got like his
He's
camera.
the photographer.
Yeah. Okay, now bend over. Oh man, that's blood and guts TV right there.
Mason, do you think we'll get a All Elite UK show in under 2 years? How long do you think it'll take? They've spoken a couple times about wanting to have shows in the United Kingdom, so I'd be shocked if they didn't have at least one within the next couple of years.
That'd be great, man. That'd be awesome. Let's see here. Mike Fiend, hope you guys go to DC for the show. I live in Baltimore, so I plan on going. It's gonna be a hot ticket. Maybe we'll get that press. Has Cody emailed us yet about our press pass?
No.
Bummer. I shot my shot.
You did.
What else do you want me to do? Let's see here. Jimmy Thomas, the legit underboss. I checked out the new network. I like the superstar profiles, but there's no Cody or Enzo, but there is an Ellsworth.
It's interesting.
Oh, but apparently the profile picture for Dexter Loomis is awesome.
Oh.
I want to check that right now. Let's see here. Greg Morris offers another conundrum. He says, you can have $10 million, but you can never leave Ohio. Never is a long time. I would say no. I can't just.
You can't go on vacation anywhere other than Ohio.
Never.
Yeah, I'd say no to
It's
that
never.
too.
Never. Let's see here. WWE Network, Superstars. Where's Dexter Lumis? Current. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What's that? Let me see.
He's
pretty
got on
funny.
like some overalls.
He's got overalls, or
That's
it could be like an apron.
Oh yeah, he could be cooking. Anyways, let's see here. So we already have. Oh, Cody is there under Stardust.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Wayne says AEW would struggle to get a venue to run here. He says York Hall has a deal with Rev Pro and New Japan. I'm sure there are plenty of places in.
What about the Royal Albert Hall? Or the O2 is probably a WB thing.
What about Wembley?
Wembley Arena? I don't know.
Yeah, Wembley.
Don't know.
They're going to run at Wembley. Alex C says Craven Cottage for their version of SummerSlam would be quality. There you go. Mason says, I'm really worried. Mason is blind. He says, I'm really worried the new update will make it really hard for me to use the WWE Network right now. It's really accessible, and I'm worried it won't be. Well, hopefully it will be.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully they'll figure that out. Anyways, there's already a bonus episode up now.
Oh, now?
It's
Wow.
Ask Steven Larson. It went up this morning in live.
Super cool.
You're looking at Southwest flights to D.C.
Yeah, I'm just checking it out.
All right, cool. Right on. Anyways, I want to say thanks to everybody. We appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good weekend.
Yes.
We have a count out, which we've yet to figure out.
Yeah,
what
we
we're
got to
gonna
decide
do.
on that as soon as we're done with this.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah, don't know.
And then on Sunday, of course, we got Matt Chat. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post-show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.